Welcome guys. We didn't do a before, we didn't do a during, but this is certainly the after. It's quite a happy one. So I'll dance around the garden as I normally do, show as much passion as I have for what I think we do best. It wasn't an afterthought, but the client wanted some beautiful woodland style, glade, glen, call it what you will, wild planting. There's lots of wild flower seeds here, and they haven't really done what I thought they were going to do. I think partly because the lawnmower man that's employed here maybe was a bit too vigorous with the mowing to start off with, but nevertheless, still plenty of time in the season for this to turn into the wild flower glen with these stunning multi-stem Betula utalis jacquemontii Himalayan birch, which once they've shed this dirty brown stuff, they're brilliant white underneath. Look at this, a very well thought and capable planting plan with this gorgeous little tiny acer that's going to do wonderful things as it grows. There should be lots of different colour and texture and height and combinations of colour. Going to be really interesting to the 2.5 metre high Verbena bonaerensis, two tiny little Aquilegia, Tiarella weryi, some Pachysandras, Christmas rose, and there's too many to mention. I love these cornflowers, check these out. I think these are dazzlingly spectacular. The deep purple colour, really like those. Balanced against the Verbena, a rather sad looking Fatsia japonica that does have lots and lots of new growth, and with a bit of water, that's going to do really well this year. Viburnum davidii, some Perovskia, and some great big tall grasses. These are Calamagrostis, they're going to be up here somewhere. We'll come back to the deck in a minute. No, let's do the deck now. This deck is amazing. It's actually one of my favourite decks that I've ever built, apart from the one in the Tower Bridge, of course. That was going to be amazing. But anyway, you should all buy your tickets and go and see that one. Back to the job at hand. You see the contrast between the Accoya, heavily brushed Accoya with secretly fixed, and it's suspended over these panels of zinc galvanized steel sheets that have been acid etched to make them look like they're very old and very weathered. The reason for that is because we wanted to break up the materials and have a contrast. What you will find is the silvery grey balanced against this blue grey of the metal. I think it will be quite subtle, but the Accoya is going to silver out quite quickly depending on the UV and the rain that we have. Breaks down the lignin in the surface, allows the fibres of the wood to go that silvery grey colour. Look how wide the boards are, the gaps are all perfect. I just love this. I think it's amazing. You can see little striations in the grain. It has started to go a silvery grey, and that's just going to get more and more. It might look a bit of a mess and go a bit blotchy for a few months, but then as soon as this has gone silvery grey, it will just look lived in, it will look mature, and I just think it will look absolutely beautiful. Very organic, very Accoya. If you're walking on a deck in bare feet, this is the one you want to walk on. It's a tiny thing, but I think in the style, the shape, the way that you step from the lawn through the different size and shape steps, and then the way that it marries into the step arrangement. Onto this step arrangement, the clients had a big extension some years ago and got us to design a set of steps. Well, it was going to be all deck, then it was going to be all paving, and then we went through various iterations and we did a full presentation in terms of design with lots of different concepts, and I think this is something like version 9, and it's one that they're very happy with. We've got some stone bricks, we've got some beautiful limestone paving. This is what it looks like, you know. It's not style over substance, it's a raised terrace patio in someone's garden, and I think it looks amazing. And this sort of geometric octagonal style design was designed for the students of the house, and they're working really hard at uni, and when they come home they want to be able to relax in that room when the weather's bad, and when the weather's good, slide the door open and spill out onto here. Portable fire pit in the middle, table and chairs so they can relax, and some bean bags and whatnot. Because you've got a bit of a drop here, it's about 500 millimeters off the floor. We've got lots of fragrant planting around here, this Osmanthus burkwoodii and the Trachylispermum jasminoid in the corner. The coup de grace here, this was designed by Janine. This was amazing, this cheeky little planting scheme. Really tall Calamagrostis, which is going to thicken out and go really bushy as a grass, and then in between you've got the lupins, all different colours, so you're going to have a blend of textures, heights, colours. I just think that's really cool, and there's about 3 or 4 square meters of it there. To balance that and to come down slightly in height, you've got Pennisetums, another grass, not so tall, sort of bunny tail, feathery heads to them, and then you've got the irises, euphorbias, echinaceas, tiarellas, ferns, hostas, heucheras, hellebores. Sorry, am I boring you? Stick with me, guys. This wasn't part of the planting plan. When the fencing contractor put up the fence, it was kind of left as a border, so we dug it over, and some of the plants from the front of the garden that were no longer needed, because he got rid of some of the planting beds in the front to make the driveway bigger, I thought, well, why don't we just bring them round here? So we've got a great show of plants, Perovskia, Verbena, bonaerensis, sedum, beautiful peonies. I think they're absolutely staggering. Hope you enjoyed the show, folks. I certainly enjoyed building this garden. Yeah, it was a big budget garden. They had nothing here to start off with, so it was a design from first principles, carte blanche. We ended up where we are. There's probably about 9 or 10 weeks on site, and a sensible investment for the lady and gentleman and the students that live here, and I think it's going to be good to go for 50 years or so. With their happiness and my thanks for tuning in. See you next time.